Right now, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo giving an update on the state's progress during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's listen in.
To my left, Robert Meek, a budget director. To his left, our esteemed Health Commissioner, Dr. Howard Zucker. We have a lot of announcements today, so let's just start. As you know, the state is working on two goals as a primary focus. First, managing COVID and the vaccination process, et cetera. Second, reimagining New York and rebuilding New York. We don't just automatically rebound post-COVID, in my opinion. You have an illness, you then have to go through rehab. We have to rehabilitate New York. We have to work to bring New York back. It's not spontaneous. Government can come up with big projects to spur the economy, provide business aid, provide tenant aid. That's what we're doing. That's reimagining New York better than ever before. But it's not an automatic recovery post-COVID, not at the rate we want it. But on both fronts, we are doing great. Well, you're the governor, of course you're going to say that. No, if you look at the data, we're doing great. The positivity today is 0.66, 799 people in hospitals. I mean, just remember where we were just a few months ago. January, 7.9, almost 8%. Today we were at 0.51%. 63 straight days of decline. Across the state, Finger Lakes has the highest, but again, look at that range, 0.98 from less than half that in other parts of the state. New York City, the Bronx, 0.57, has the highest. New York's progress is extraordinary and exceptional. It has the lowest positivity, one of the lowest positivities of any state in the United States, okay? So that is saying something. 10 straight days of record low positivity. Every region is below 1%. We have never been in a better position vis-a-vis COVID than we are today. And I have such respect for the actions of New Yorkers because New Yorkers are the ones who determine the positivity rate, et cetera. And they have done a fantastic job. Not only is the positivity coming down, the vaccinations are going up. And the two are linked, right? They are opposite curves. As vaccinations go up, positivity goes down. And that's what we are seeing. Vaccinations now, 19 million, 10 million with at least one dose, 9 million fully vaccinated. According to the CDC, we have done more shots in arms per capita than any big state in the country. We're at 68.6. But who's counting? We're counting. That's why we know it's 68.6. Wow, that's great. It is great, but it's not enough, and we have to do more. The light at the end of the tunnel is to remove the remaining COVID restrictions, right? Get to a point where COVID is not inhibiting our society, not inhibiting our growth. To do that, we have to be at 70%. When we hit 70%, then I feel comfortable saying to the people of this state, we can relax virtually all restrictions. We're at 68.6, almost there, but this isn't horseshoes. We want to be at 70%. 1.4% to go. And then we can lift the capacity restrictions, social distancing, the hygiene protocols, the health screenings, the potential tracing. Masks will only be required as recommended by the CDC. There will be some institutional guidelines, large venues, schools, public transportation, hospitals, nursing homes. But we hit 70%. We will be back to life as normal, or as normal as you can be post-COVID. So how do you get the vaccinations up? And the vaccination rate has slowed dramatically, which is obvious. The higher you get, the fewer people there are to get vaccinated. And the lowest vaccination demographic is still the 12 to 17 because they just became eligible. And we just spent a year telling them this is not really about you, it's about older people. So we're trying to get it up in the 12 to 17 group. But focus on the places that have low vaccination rates. Well, how do you know where you have low vaccination rates? Study the data. We have 1,700 zip codes in the state of New York, okay? If you look at the zip codes by vaccination rate, the bottom 10% of the zip codes are below 36%, okay? The overall vaccination rate in the state is 68. So these zip codes are like almost half of the vaccination rate. Target those areas. Remember when we went through the hospital vaccination protocol early on, and we couldn't get the hospital numbers up? And I then literally did the numbers by hospital, and now people knew that we were looking at hospital numbers, and there was more accountability. We're going to do the same thing with zip codes. Yes, we're working statewide, but we're going to focus on these zip codes, and I want everybody focusing on these zip codes because they're dramatically different. This is starting with the lowest percentage of vaccinations, right? Muncie and Rockland County, Romulus and Seneca County, Monroe in Orange County, Spring Valley in, well, Monroe and Orange, and then Rochester and Monroe. It's a little confusing. Monroe in Orange County, Rochester in Monroe County, Spring Valley, Evans Mill, Frankenville, Gowanda, Far Rockaway, Queens, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Rochester City in Monroe, Ocean Hill, Brooklyn, Canarsie, Brooklyn, Brownsville, Brooklyn, Buffalo, City of Buffalo and Erie County, Crown Heights, Brooklyn, Borough Park, Brooklyn, Delavan and Cattaraugus, Baychester in the Bronx, Addison and Steuben, Fort Plain, Montgomery, Hunts Point in the Bronx, Jefferson County, Marine Park, which surprises me. And if you have, this is not just a remainder of the zip codes and their vaccination rates, it is also an IQ test. Who can read the top county or town? Anybody? Okay. Then you'll have to look at it on the website. We'll skip this chart. But that is the remainder of the zip codes of the 176, and we're going to be focusing on those. To the county health departments and local governments, I say, focus your resources there. That is where we have the greatest chance for advancement. And the local governments have the resources because the vaccination rate is way down. We don't have enough people coming into vaccination centers to justify having the centers open right now. We have centers open all day and 2, 3, 4 people show up. So redeploy those assets to these zip codes because that's where it can make a difference. On the issue of schools, the numbers show that the risk of transmission by children is extremely low, especially in this state, which has an extremely low positivity rate. You have states in this nation that have multiples of our positivity rate. We spoke with the CDC. They have policy guidance for schools nationwide. So their policy guidance is for the lowest positivity rate state and the highest positivity rate state. They're not going to change their guidance for several weeks. In New York State, we're going to modify the CDC guidance and allow schools to choose no mask outside for children. In other words, children wear masks in school inside. When they're outside of the school building, in recess, etc., it's hot, they're running around, but they're outside. There is no mandate for masks outside. We'll leave that up to the local school district. We spoke to CDC, and CDC has no objection to that and is fine with it. This will allow us to align camp and school guidance. To me, it's very important that people understand the logic between these decisions and that it's rational and based on the science and the data. We've asked people to do all sorts of extraordinary things. We've had all sorts of regulations, but I always could look right in the camera and say, this makes sense for the following reasons. We have a disconnect right now between the school guidance and the camp guidance. You send your child to camp, they don't have to wear a mask. You send your child to school, they have to wear a mask even outside. How do you square those two regulations? And I don't think you can. And that's important because if people don't think the rules are logical, then they're not going to want to follow the rules. So we're going to align them for schools outside. If you can go to camp and run around and play volleyball and not wear a mask, you in the playground in school, you can not wear a mask. Inside school is obviously different, and then it's up to the local school districts. Also for schools, they should now be vaccinating 12 to 17-year-olds. They are in the school. They're there now. You have them in one place. They're a captive audience, so to speak. You have a nurse in the school, or you have a local government that can send the vaccination team to the school. We're closing vaccination sites. Redeploy them to the school. Get them vaccinated now. Parental permission slip, and then vaccinate the child. Once summer vacation happens, they're gone. They go home, they're in the neighborhood, they go on vacation, they go to camp, who knows where they go. But you have them right now in the building. And you want to start the new school year in September with a clean slate, get them vaccinated now. It makes no sense. Connecticut did something called the Ferris Bueller Day Off. Who remembers Ferris Bueller Day Off? Well, you are a non-participatory. Do you remember, Zach?
Very clearly.
You remind me of Ferris Bueller, by the way. I'm saying. But Connecticut did a Ferris Bueller Day Off. If you get vaccinated, you get the rest of the day off. Get creative. But get those 12 to 17-year-olds vaccinated now. It will make reopening the schools much safer and much easier. And I think every school should be doing that right now.